Hello, this is a Leshark and Friends
and Russell
podcast. And on today's show, we're talking to the amazing, talented and beautiful singer Eka from Eka Soundz. Eka's journey to Phuket started with a girl band in her native Canada and then took her to Hong Kong, Singapore and Peru before arriving on the shores of Phuket. Eka is one of the most talented performers that we've ever talked to, and meeting her Shananay was a pleasure for both me and Russell. Shananay. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the podcast. We've got a problem, Russell.
We've always got problems.
Because we're about to interview Eka.
We are.
Who is an amazing singer, but she's vocal resting, so it's going to be a crap interview because she's not going to say anything.
We're just going to mime the whole thing then.
Yeah.
She said yes. For those of you watching in black and white.
Hi, Eka.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
You're vocally
Super.
resting.
It means I don't talk and I don't use my vocal box for the whole day, which is really hard.
I've never known you to shut up.
Exactly, which is why it's extremely hard.
Is this something you do on a regular basis?
Since the last year, yes. Try to do at least once a week.
Right, like every week?
Or at least right before a performance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just, I guess like a muscle really, isn't it? You don't want to overstress. You want to work it, but you don't want to overstress it.
It's rest. It's basically I don't talk until sunset the next day, and then trying to like govern the house not talking is very hilarious.
I want to be married to you.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Especially on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Trust me, you don't.
No. Eka.
Hey.
Eka from Eka Soundz. Eka singer. Eka everything. When did you get to Phuket?
I got to Phuket 7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why did you come here?
Well, the short story is...
No, do the long one, because we've got an hour.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Okay, no, well...
But gently.
The summarized version is that my husband and I, Pierre and I, we both come from, corporate lifestyle, and at some stage after we got married, we had a little accident with the baby, the first child, and then he lost his job, and so we ended up going to Peru.
Your child lost his job?
Child and a job. And then we went into the jungle. We did 3 months of just living with tribes and doing ayahuasca, and then we came out of that just wanting to be reborn and choosing a new lifestyle. So the first thing that we wanted to ditch was the superficial lifestyle of being in Singapore.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I really want to talk about the ayahuasca.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I can't say it, so
Yes.
you asked that question.
Yes.
So you're both in Singapore. Were you born in Singapore?
I'm actually from Montreal, Canada. Born and raised.
That was
Yeah.
my next guess.
Yes. That was, yeah, good.
So,
You're smart.
And where's Pierre from?
Pierre is a Melbourne boy.
Okay.
And he's Egyptian Melbourne, and I'm Chinese Canadian.
There's a mix, isn't it?
Mm.
So you were born there?
I was born in Montreal, and I stayed there until I was 23.
Okay.
And then I lived in Hong Kong, and then in Singapore, always remaining in fashion. And then, during the reinvention, I came back to my original passion, which is actually music.
We are definitely going to get to the ayahuasca, because I'm very interested in that.
Yeah.
However, 23, decided to leave Montreal and go to
Yeah.
Hong Kong.
Yeah.
What was the connection there? Just woke up one morning and thought, you know what?
Well, there was a lot of events that led me to those steps, but the main one was that I was always an aspiring singer. And then in Canada, during that period, although I was studying in fashion, which was my backup plan, we had a big hit actually on the radio. So I say we because I was a part of a girl band called
what was it called?
Called Jai, J-A-I, Jai. And we had this hit called Checking Me Out, and I actually topped the charts for 3 weeks. And then that got the attention of Sony Canada, and Sony Canada actually came down from Toronto to audition us a few times, and we did really good. And then up until the Toronto auditions, which are the final ones, which is the same stage that Celine Dion was on, and like Nelly Furtado, we fucked it up.
How'd you fuck it up?
We started with a cappella 3-part harmony off. So that
I'd always told you, never start with a 3-part a cappella harmony.
You are right.
I've told him that so many times.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then after that, I was pretty much I was so destroyed.
Were you fairly crushed with that?
I was so crushed.
How old were you at that stage?
I think I was just, so that's like 17 years ago. I'm 41 now, do the math. About what, 23?
Don't look at me. I'm not doing
I don't do
no
math. Something like that.
Are you still in contact with the bandmates?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have they gone on for successful solo careers?
Solo careers, yes.
Excellent.
They're all like festival singers, and I think one of them was actually on The Voice Canada.
Cool.
So then actually that led me to just wanting to start all over, and so then I deeply pursued fashion in Hong Kong. I just needed to like leave that behind. So that was the last day off that Sony stage. I didn't sing for 13 years.
Wow.
That's how like hurt I was. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
It's crazy actually, but it would always be like a ghost that would haunt me. You know, I knew that it was a dormant ghost, and it would talk to me because I would sleep and it would always come in my dreams, you know, that I'm on the stage and all of a sudden I'm supposed to sing like a bird and then nothing comes out. So that was the recurring dream that I had for 13 years. So that was like hey Eka, you gotta sing again. Hey Eka, you gotta sing again. That was my reminder.
Whew. Fair play.
That's a great start.
Yeah. So what took you to Hong Kong?
So that was that. I wanted to start all over from Montreal. I just wanted to start all over and go.
Why Hong Kong?
My sister had moved there from Montreal, so I thought, you know what, I'll just give it a try, and you know, it was nice to have family there. And then I did exactly what I said I wasn't going to do, which is work corporate, but I felt like I had to do it just to prove myself right. And then that was 13 years of corporate life later. Yeah. So then, you know, as you do in Hong Kong, you go into bigger companies. So
Yeah.
from
right?
fashion, I went into L'Oreal, and then I went into Burberry. And then at that stage, I met Pierre. That was already 6 years in. I was in Hong Kong 6 years.
Can I just say, he's very handsome.
Thank you so much.
What was he doing?
I
He
don't
was
care.
working in
Hopefully
Singapore.
he was just with his top off, in tighty whities, running. That's what I want to see.
In slow motion.
You know,
Absolutely.
there is nothing sexier than a guy running. I must say that. That's true.
Really?
For me, I think it's attractive when people take care of themselves.
Oh.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
There's taking care of yourself, and there's being seen
I
in the last few hundred meters of a 10K run when you're about to drop dead.
Yeah.
That's not attractive.
I'll
I
go
can tell.
running later for you, and you tell me if I'm hot or not.
So long as you just do the hair with the sweat and just like and then
Yeah.
Just
and then
a
drink the
flick.
Coca-Cola slow, you know, like those
And
ads.
it's like choking on it. I can't breathe. And yeah, it's
Just a little bit of sweat dripping
Yeah.
down between my pecs,
Yeah.
slowly getting into the rolls of fat into the stomach, and just falling into the hairy belly button. I can see it, X. I've got it.
It's all about the attitude. It's all
Yeah.
about the trying to be fit.
It's the effort. Yeah.
Who pulled who?
Who chased who?
Back to that question, Pierre was actually in Singapore. He went to Hong Kong for a boys' weekend, so he was there for 2 days.
Nah.
Who pulled who? Actually, I was the one who approached him first. Yeah.
Wow.
Were you drunk
Yeah.
at the time?
I don't think that.
That's a
I think
yes.
if you can still stand, you're not drunk. So I guess I was. I wasn't. I guess I wasn't. But I was just single for 1 week, and I said to myself, no boyfriends, no more boyfriends.
I'm going straight to husband.
Yeah, right, kind of thing. And then I just saw it, and I was just like, oh my god, I can't control my speech.
In all fairness, joking aside, he is very handsome.
Thank you.
And he's also just his body, and he's a tall
Yeah.
young man as well, and he's got a great physique. And he's just got that. You're right. He's got that Egyptian kind of
Yeah.
Middle East kind of look, and he's
Tall,
got this
dark,
beautiful
handsome.
smile. Yeah. No, I would definitely. Anyway, it's not about him.
But then,
it's
you
about
know, that meeting him turned into, my future husband.
Far out. But was he living in Singapore at the time?
He was in Singapore at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we get together, we get on, and then he goes back to Singapore. So how did that?
He long distance. We long distance for about 8-10 months.
Yep.
So I'd see him about every 2-3 weeks, which is great. And then after 10 months of that, we said, you know what? If we want to get any more connected, then somebody's got to move.
Yep.
So I moved, quit the job, and went to see him in Singapore. And then from then on, it was bliss. It was bliss.
And you still hadn't picked up a microphone at this point, done
Still
no
hadn't.
singing whatsoever.
Still hadn't.
So now we lead into Singapore.
Yeah.
And then were you working in Singapore?
I was working in Singapore, and then I moved into Prada, and then I moved into Mont Blanc, and then that stage,
Both of which are ion.
I moved into an industry, a role that actually I think is the catalyst to what made me wanted to get back to my dream, because it was lovely to work for these lovely companies, but the role that I was doing was I was VIP program management and as well as relationship management. So I was basically in charge of all the very, very wealthiest clients. And I think that all that exposure to wealth just kind of like just made me really sick. Especially like later on when I was trying to sell $1 million watches to like really rich people, it was just too much of it. And then especially when you're in Singapore, which is also extremely
keeping up with the
bling.
Joneses.
So that actually rotted me a little bit, and then I was finding myself very unhappy. And when Pierre saw that, he can tell that I really should try to like get out of it, regardless of whether or not I was going to make singing professional. But he just needed me to open my voice again. So he and a guy friend had coordinated a lot of meetups, because he's a guitarist, where they would try to force me to sing. Like he would just show up to the house and, hey, I got a guitar.
Start strumming Wonderwall.
Yeah, something like that. And then I'm like, no,
That's my
no.
go-to
And
song.
I rejected that for the longest time. I rejected singing. Up until this point where they literally were like, okay, no, they tied me down and on a chair, and like, okay, you are going to sing tonight. This is like after many attempts, and then I tried to open my voice again. I was like sweating, and I was scared, and I was nervous. Oh my God, it was the most horrible feeling. Yeah, it was the most horrible feeling. And so I sang a little bit. I sounded very different because I wasn't taking care of the vocal cords, but at least, you know, that started to break that wall down again, you know? And so then after rehearsing with my friend for about a year and a half, we actually started to get paid for jobs in Singapore amongst friends. So that was what kind of like broke me out of it.
Sort of rekindled the fire for it.
Yeah, but also just healed the wound, I'd say, you know, and I had to like also forgive the fact that, you know, my voice didn't sound the same, and or just really like face the fear that I failed at Sony. So it was just kind of facing all those lessons, right? Yeah.
And when you were getting back into it, you just did you ever write your own material? Was it all about your own stuff, or was it
Not
just
at that
covers
stage.
and
Not at that stage, yeah.
So, Peru.
Back to
And
Peru.
back to whoever you said.
ayahuasca?
So Peru was right before we moved here, right?
Why Peru?
Because that's where you go to do ayahuasca.
Yeah.
What?
yeah.
Okay, someone needs to explain to me what
Yeah.
ayahuasca is. I'm thinking it's an Indian tribe that go around going ayahuasca. Is that completely not?
It's a tea.
Oh, it's a tea, so it's
Yeah.
not an Indian tribe that
It's
live
a-
in teepees.
It's a brew. It's a medicine. It's an indigenous medicine. Where
Sounds
they
like a
combine-
drug
yeah.
to me.
Actually, they call it. A lot of people will call it a drug just because they don't know it. But what it really is, and the intention of it is, it's a medicine to clean the body, to clear the body. And I tell you, it's not a drug because it's not fun. Trust me, you don't
is
do that
not fun.
recreationally. But
it
the
come out both
misconception is that it's a drug, but that's a misconception.
Okay, so
You basically take the root, the vine,
Yeah.
and the leaf
Yeah.
of the.
There you
of
go.
it. The drug, if you want.
Russell's pointing at me now.
I am pointing at Jay. The main drug that's in the
Don't do
in the
drugs,
leaf
by the way, kids.
is
Just want to get that out there.
what's it? Deoxymethyltryptamine, DMT.
Yeah.
Tryptamine. You've made that up.
Deoxymethyltryptamine, and that's the DMT. That's the bit that kind of
The
sends you off on a
DMT.
buzz. Yeah.
That's in Korea.
That too.
All right.
DMZ.
All right.
Yeah. But nicely played. So
Oh my God, I'm so confused. Isn't this the program where they sit around and talk about celebrities and they film them?
no,
Well, what's that?
I have no idea.
That's TMZ.
That'll do.
Okay, we're getting there.
So, but yeah. So did you? Obviously, before you went, I mean, how did this come into your life? That all of a sudden, hey, wow, let's go and do some ayahuasca.
Pierre and I were both we were very down at that stage because we had just lost our first child. It was a miscarriage. And then after that, shortly after, he had lost his job pretty much all within the same week. So we were really down, and we said, you know what, we have to go heal somewhere. And actually, Pierre had the calling to seek this help of ayahuasca. So it was like the mother had called him. And so that's why we just, we
As in
planned-
Mother Nature, not his mother.
Mother Nature, yeah. I don't think his mother knows.
Pierre, you've got to go to Peru, mate. Go to Peru, have some drugs, you'll be all right. Sort you right out, son.
It is a medicine.
Yeah.
Listen, right?
No, Jay, trust me.
It's a medicine.
Is it?
It
Yeah,
really
it's a
is.
medicine.
Yeah.
Okay, I think, so you would go to Peru and
Yeah.
you go to this little tribal place.
Yep.
And then you sit and have some
Yeah.
special tea.
Yeah.
Medicine, as you
Yes.
all seem to be calling it, and then you obviously then go into some flippy floppy, cleanse your body, throw up everywhere, and you feel better in 4 days.
I wouldn't say you feel better straight away.
Yeah, there
it's
you
a,
go.
It's a learning process. That, well,
Yeah.
no, you tell me
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
version of it, because I did it recently.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
When did you go to Peru?
I didn't go to Peru. I did it
Did
here.
Samoa?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, what we did was first we wanted to cleanse our thoughts. We knew that going straight into Peru, we spent 3 months in South America, and all leading up to the experience of the ayahuasca, which we saved for the last because we felt like we had to shed Singapore first.
Right.
So we basically backpacked through Bolivia, and we did a lot of Peru. We did the Machu Picchu trek, and then we saved that to the last. We stayed in the jungle for 2 weeks. First, just living with a tribe, and it was mind blowing. And then after that, we went to seek the shaman that we had chosen for ourselves. So we stayed with him for another 2 weeks. And during those 2 weeks was when we had the ayahuasca ceremonies, and
What? Slow.
yeah.
You stayed with shaman for a couple of weeks, and you chose this. So there's a different.
So we
is there like a book of
stayed with
shamans?
the tribe,
Right.
So it was like one of those.
And where are you?
Yeah.
You're living with the tribes. Have you got your own hut? Have you got aircon?
We stayed with them in
what
their
have you got?
hut.
In their hut.
Yeah, with their family. He was one man. He was a couple with 4 kids. With a 3-year-old girl holding machetes because they were born there. So for them, it's okay. It's all normal, macheteing things, and we were eating yucca every single day because hunts were not always successful. Fishing just for food and stuff like that. Drinking like water
What
that
were
was
you
the color
wearing?
of coffee. We were wearing like hiking gear, the things that were
not loincloths
impenetrable,
and stuff.
impenetrable for mosquitoes.
Yeah.
So like
Right.
trillions of mosquitoes.
Yeah.
So that's what we would wear, but we were staying with the tribe. They were very nice to actually take us in and just welcome us. They are the most, welcoming individuals with absolutely like nothing, you know.
And no concept of what they could have.
No, and
That's the beauty of it.
and it was literally just a hut, and it was it. And so they had their room, which was just separated by a little thin wooden sheet wall, and then we stayed in the living room with a mosquito tent over us, and that was our life for 2 weeks before we went into the jungle to. Then we stayed on a hammock for 5 days in the middle of the jungle. So that was a part of the jungle experience, and then we did the shamans. I wouldn't call it retreat. It was no retreat really.
Yeah.
It was hardcore.
You said
raw.
you picked a shaman. Is there different ones that you can go to?
Oh my God, there's so many.
Right.
And charlatans are what you call fake shamans, right?
Yeah.
So it was. Pierre did a lot of research on who was legit and who was good and who wasn't going to be dangerous, I guess, to us, because a lot of these resorts or retreats have been overpopularized by the Americans going there, and so
Damn
some of
the
them,
Americans.
yeah.
Damn them all.
So some of them could be very fancy, but then apparently there was some, if you read the reviews. So basically, we found the one that was
Reviews.
suited
So
us.
there's a shaman advisor somewhere where
There's
you
a
can
lot
go and
of
vote on them.
forums.
Jokes aside,
There's a lot of
this,
forums.
a lot of it's a hot spot to go to Peru to do this. So, and there are people that say, look, if you're going to do it, you need to do it right. You need to do it well. It's not just like having a spliff and just chilling out. It's like, think about if you're going to take any sort of narcotic.
Not that I do.
Not
Russell.
that you would, but like I said, if you were going to. If you're going to be sensible
healing.
about it, you're going to, forget that side for a minute,
Yeah.
but just anything you're going to take,
That's
you
right.
probably want to know where you're getting it from, if you're going to be sensible about it, rather than just saying, the hell with that.
Yep.
I'm gonna
Not
try
down
it.
the reggae bar then.
Yeah, quite. But with this being also, it is very medicinal in the effect it has on you. You want to make sure that you're with the right people that know what they're doing to administer it, to look after you and to guide you through it.
Yeah. There
So
you go.
when you say it cleanses you,
Yeah.
you know a lot about this.
I've done it.
Have you?
Yeah.
Did it cleanse you? It didn't
Yeah.
work on your attitude, did it? For
It's
sure.
going to take more
You
ceremonies
need a
for
lot more.
that.
You need some more
Well,
DMZs.
how many ceremonies did you do?
So in total, we did 7.
Ceremonies?
Yeah.
We talking? What the? I don't know what's going on.
So,
There's a lot you don't know about your partner.
yeah.
Oh, trust me,
In
there's a
every,
lot.
every pod, something comes up. So in terms of, so from my experience of the ceremony, obviously the place was different, but the ceremony, if you like, is just you drink the tea.
Yeah.
It then has the effect on you. You're there, but you're not there, and then you kind of come out of it and sort of discuss and assimilate and go through what you've seen and what you've envisaged and all of that.
Was that your experience?
So you drink it, and you have an intention when you do drink
Does
it.
it taste nice, or is
It
it?
tastes like shit. It tastes like thick gasoline, like
With prune juice.
consistency. Oh, it's
And
horrible.
did you find it got worse every time?
Yeah. It just feels thicker every single time.
It's horrible.
And then the shaman plays a really, really important role because they basically chant what they call ikaros, which are songs from the vines, and they just chant. They chant it the entire time throughout those 3-4 hours that you are somewhere else, and those chants guide you to the places that you need. And so basically the shaman and Mother Ayahuasca, which they call ayahuasca the mother, they together then help you release or heal or solve or undo things that you wanted to.
So there's an ayahuasca mother with the shaman.
So the ayahuasca mother is a plant.
Right.
Yeah, they call it Mother Ayahuasca.
Nature.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. So Mother Nature is friends with the shaman. The shaman gives you the tea. You drink this tea.
Yeah.
In inverted commas,
brew.
which tastes like shit,
Yeah,
apparently.
horrible.
It really does.
And then what happens?
So the first reaction is that you may vomit quite projectilely.
Right. Projectile, good word.
But they always say that for the people who have more to cleanse, they will vomit more violently.
Yeah.
I actually didn't. I wasn't like that. Not even that bad actually. I wasn't projectile ever. It was almost like everybody was vomiting, and I was like, I felt like I really should. Come on, I was like, come on, shall you vomit?
Did you not vomit because you're cleansed already?
No.
Oh.
I did, but it just wasn't like
Everywhere.
really violent like some other people.
Yeah.
Like
how many people were there when you were doing it?
It changed every time because we stayed there for 10 days, and so people came in and out. Maximum 5.
Okay.
And then at the least it was just Pierre and I.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you do I think you did like late afternoon sessions.
We did evening sessions.
Evening session.
Yeah.
Okay. So. And then the next day, did you do another one, or did you take a break?
We took a break.
Yeah.
And you're also on the ayahuasca diet, where you basically eat no sugar, no salt, no oil, no alcohol, obviously, and no meats. And so
you can't eat 6 hours before.
Yeah. So everything tastes like a bowl of hot water. Soup is like hot water. Eggs and rice taste like absolutely nothing. And then you've been puking all night, and the next day all you want is just this.
Yeah.
Something tasty, and you basically go 10 days. On that diet, and preparing for that, you also have to do 7 days of ayahuasca diet going into it so that your body is cleansed. So we had a total of, I think, about 2 weeks where we actually ate nothing that tasted like anything.
Sounds amazing so far. I'm looking forward to it.
We lost a lot of weight,
I'm
which
so
is
upset
good.
we can't travel.
Yeah.
I'd be there straight away.
I know, it sounds really weird.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't sound weird. It sounds stupid.
So so far it does. To be fair, because we did a similar thing. We went reasonably vegan for about a week, 10 days prior to going.
Yeah.
We were on a time constraint, so when we were in Samui, we were there for 5 days, and we did 3 days, but we did it back to back.
Okay.
Which was fucking intense.
Yes.
So I'll come back to that. So we did the trip in the evening.
Yes.
So the day before, you're eating nothing, basically, and you get to, I think we got to like lunchtime, and that was our cut-off. So we stopped eating at 12.
Yes.
You get round to like 6 o'clock in the evening, then you're out for the next 4 to 6 hours. Wiggle your way through the evening, and then you wake up in a bit of a daze the next morning, faff your way through breakfast, and then the cycle starts again. I would advise people to do the ayahuasca treatment.
Yes.
I wouldn't do it back to back. You need that day.
Yeah, technically,
to recover, but also to really talk about what the fuck just happened.
Yes.
So what did Jay's lost? But what did you see? Where did you go?
Peru. We've talked about that. Sorry, before you answer that, you were in Samui doing this.
Yes.
How did you get from Samui to Peru?
We're about mate. I've been in galaxies.
You did the ayahuascas in Samui.
You can do it in Samui.
Yeah.
So there's a Peruvian dude that's gone over to Samui and went, do you know what? I got a great idea for a business. I'm going to make people drink this tea.
Actually, yes, there are people importing the wine and brewing it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a growing industry.
Yes.
Growing industries of wine. Well done.
No.
Yeah.
So how did it? What was tell us your mental state.
I mean, for me, every time I drank, it was always for different intentions.
You went in with the intention.
With different intentions every time.
Okay.
Some people have the same thing that they want to heal for all the sessions, but for me, I had, I wanted to just maximize it. You had a list. So what did I see? Listen, it is to the belief of the Peruvians that Mother Ayahuasca chooses how she wants to communicate with you.
Yeah.
So some may get a lot of visuals and some may get none at all. Some may just get thoughts or, whatever. And so for me, I actually didn't get a lot of visuals. I think it's because I'm naturally already very visual. So she actually just, it was more like her message to me was more clear thoughts rather than really trippy visuals that Pierre had. I mean, he turned into at some stage like a big chameleon, or I forgot what it was, but he like even mutated.
Yeah.
Whereas I didn't. I got a little bit of vision, but then mostly it was really clear messages. But I did get a lot out of it at the end of it, and you may actually get answers to which you didn't, to questions that you didn't ask, because you may go in there with the intention, but Mother Ayahuasca would be like, well, if you haven't solved this issue, if you haven't healed that wound, I'm not going to pave the way for you to heal that, because this is first.
Yeah.
So that's what she did for me. So I was asking about, I think at some stage I was asking about self-doubt. And during that ceremony, I remember what she healed for me was my relationship with my mom. Right? I didn't even know that it was related, but actually it was. Then now in hindsight, I realized it's so connected, was my root. And I would have to say, out of every different intention and every different ceremony, that the healing of my mother and I's relationship was the biggest takeaway from my experience.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, so I will always thank that for that, and I also quit Diet Coke for that. So talk about an addiction. I had an addiction. It was a Diet Coke, and she helped me with that as well. Boom.
Well done, Mother Nature.
Would you go back and do it all again?
I absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
On a separate question, have you done DMT on its own?
I don't think so.
Because DMT is the chemical drug that's within the ayahuasca, but basically the ayahuasca as a brew, it works as like a blocker.
That's right.
So the DMT gets slowly absorbed into the system, which is why you're out for 4 to 6 hours, depending. The DMT on its own, it's like a baseball bat to the back of the head. You are bang, you're in it, and you are gone for about 8 minutes. And you're back out in the room, and it's like, wow, what just happened?
It sounds like a sex session for me. 8 minutes.
8 whole minutes.
Twice, yeah. It was twice.
Right, okay.
Can I ask, how much do you pay for this amazing experience?
Oh, I just don't remember, but I think it came up to about $50 a day. We stay there and they feed us, but they feed us like nothing, so it's like there's no electricity, But the whole experience is just. The whole experience, it's not just the ceremony. It was just also staying in those huts, taking baths in the, cleaning ourselves in the river. It was just that whole experience.
Yeah.
The intention of wanting to heal, going through such extreme measures will bring you back feeling good about yourself, to be really honest, that you were able to brave through all that crap.
What an amazing experience.
Yeah.
It
does sound, yeah.
It is mental. So, all right, we didn't have the whole tribe experience and sort of doing it, and I would like to, and my concern now is it's a lot more prevalent, more people other than Jay know about it, so there's a lot more of a tourism bubble to it to go there. So we went to Peru, to Samui to do it, and it was just us with the guide. It was there, and it was just the two of us, nice and easy, talked us all through it. I would do it again. I wouldn't rush back because it was a horrible experience to go through. But from the medicinal point of it, you do learn an awful lot about yourself and what you've gone through and how you then perceive yourself and things moving forward.
I don't think I want to know.
Yeah.
That's a problem. I mean, I've done gas in a field in England. I lying on a hay bale. Does that count? I was out for about 30 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. It counts.
I mean, I was off
it counts.
That's nailed on, mate. Yeah,
and I realised I shouldn't really be doing gas. It's probably not a good thing to do. Kids don't do gas. So I can't believe we haven't talked about it. I think you did say to me, Russell, that you wanted to talk to me, and we never did. This was months ago. So after this amazing experience in Peru, what then got you to say, right, okay, we've done this amazing experience, let's go to Thailand?
I think we actually even decided that we were gonna move to Thailand before the ayahuasca, and we at that
just got lost on the way.
At that time, we were trekking during the Machu Picchu, and it was like the 4th day. It was a 5-night, 6-day trek, and I think it was on day 4 when Pierre and I were just trekking and talking, and we're like, you know what do we really want? And then he says, if we were 18 again, how would we redo this? And then boom, we said, you know what, let's stop working for the corporate world and let's move to somewhere where we really enjoy it. And we were coming to Phuket so often at that stage. We have a lot of good friends, and we have even a little goddaughter here. So the choice was obvious for us that we wanted to go from city to an island. But this island is not like, it's not like you have to, fish your own fish for food. So we wanted to go somewhere in between. Nothing too bling, but nothing too raw. And so Phuket just seemed like the obvious choice. That's how we chose it. So that was actually right. That was before ayahuasca. Ayahuasca was the last thing, which was our inner work. But we had already figured out that we were going to move before that.
Cool.
And you had no idea about work-wise, and because that time you'd only just got back into the singing, but you weren't.
We had decided that I was going to do that.
This was going to be
a clear plan, yeah.
Because I don't know how, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Because I think that's when we first met. Must have been then, because I was at Zazdar Beach Club when we first met.
That's right. Oh my, that was my first year when I used to still be nervous. I used to still be so nervous every time I gigged, I would be so nervous.
Do you not get nervous anymore?
I was just going to ask
Not really.
I still do. Not that I DJ that much, but even when I'm performing on stage or anything, I get really nervous.
When you're DJing?
Not so much DJing. I mean, I haven't DJed.
When you're MC?
When I'm MC,
but that's probably because you don't do it regularly. But if you did do it regularly, you would become like second nature, I think.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah,
I get nervous doing sex now. That's not doing that regularly. So you both came here and you thought, do you know what? So the singing was the thing. I'm going to go, and this is where I'm going to come to Phuket, because there are options. Because there's lots of beach clubs, there was lots of weddings and stuff. So how did that whole process go?
So I arrived, and it was clear. I said to my friend Marine from Shillong Bay, I said I need to make a band. And so she took me to Phuket Town, and this was within the first 3 weeks that I was here. Took me to Phuket Town and introduced me to Boy. She knew exactly who she wanted to introduce me to. It was Boy Navio. And I met him, and then that night he was playing somewhere, Saneha, and I went on stage and I sung with him a song. And very nervously. And then at that stage, my first song that I sung with Boy, and I still remember which one it was, Ain't No Sunshine. And I knew right there and then that I had to sing with him. It was like love at first sight musically, just because he just makes you feel so supported. And that's what the musician's core role is to support, right? And he did that so well and so professionally and so just authentically, energetically, that I said, okay, it has to be him. So I basically like chased him like a boyfriend. I chased him around. I'm like, hi. I would go to his gigs and I'd be like, hey, yeah, do you want to form a band? Hey. And he was getting so many invitations from people wanting to form bands with him. And he's like, yeah, whatever. And as soon as he agreed, boom, I'm on Pori. And
when you say boom, that didn't, because you were pushing yourself. You were out there going for it, so it wasn't just boom. So you did a lot of work, because you have to get your name out there. But as a non-known singer to come here, it must have been quite difficult to get your foot in the door. So how was you getting your foot in the door?
It was really strange, but I was really lucky. I guess it was meant to happen, and the universe aided a lot. But after I arrived, somebody told somebody from the newspaper that there's this wonderful new singer in town, and very shortly after I got interviewed by the Gazette. And then after that, hotels were already knocking on my door when I actually hadn't even sung yet in Phuket.
Wow.
And so it was a lot of luck. Thank the universe for that. And then from that newspaper article onwards, it was like knocking on the door. And then actually my first big client was Caninepointacademy. They booked me for the whole festive season. I was so grateful. I was so shitting in my pants every single time. You had no idea. But I basically did the fake it till you make it. And then it took me about a whole year of performing publicly for me to actually stop getting so nervous. And then now it's been 7 years. So
Amanpuri is a hell of a gig to get straight
off.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, if you're going to do it properly, right? Start off at the deep end. I'm assuming for the festive period, your choice of material is a bit more limited. But generally speaking, again, back to the original question, are you doing your own material or just all covers? Or
now we are. Now we
are.
Yeah. So it took me a long time. Look, I've written a lot of house music tracks, like just like hooks and lines. And a few of them have been signed. So I feel very confident writing that kind of music. But writing like a full normal song, I haven't. And until now, we just wrote our first, finally, after 7 years. Because Boy's been pushing us, and it's going to be released soon. We've already recorded it. The video's been shot, so you should be seeing it in about hopefully the next 7 to 10 days.
Is this what's the word I'm looking for? Exclusive. This is the first people you've told.
Kind of. I think I told
That's a no.
Yeah, that's a no, really. It didn't have that whole
but
feel. Yeah,
I would love to send it to you, and you can play it on your podcast.
Please,
absolutely.
Yeah, we're really proud of
We
it.
can
Yeah,
put it
we're
on
really
for
proud of
sure.
it.
What do you like to sing?
I mean, in my soul, in my heart, I am very black. My stage alter ego, her name is Shananay, and she's really big, and she really can hold a lot of air and space physically. So for me, I love soul. I started with R&B and soul. Actually, when I was in high school, I was directing a choir, so I was always drawn to more black music. So I love singing everything that's black: R&B, soul, and jazz. Those are my three favorites.
So you're like Whoopi Goldberg in Sister Act.
Well, I in my head I'm more like Jill Scott, Aretha Franklin, but that's all just a aspiration.
Big
in my
Mama
head.
from Big Mama's house.
Yeah, Big Mamas. It's gotta be Big Mama.
Yeah,
It's gotta be Big Mama.
That's the one I'm going for, I think.
Yeah, in my head that's like Shananay is big.
Yeah.
What's
a lot of women.
She's actually got a name. What's her name? Sorry.
Shananay.
Sorry.
Beyonce's got Sasha Fierce. I've got Shananay.
Shouldn't have told him that.
Yeah, Shananay.
Shananay.
Yeah.
That. Sorry, what's your name? Shananay. What's your name?
Yeah.
Shananay is like a name that someone would give their kid
when they've got a stutter
for their little parts. Well, how's your Shananay? have you cleaned your Shananay?
No, it's like Latifah. It's like
it's not Latifah. It's
like
Shananay.
Latoya. Like that's sort of
Latifah.
that's the edge that I was going for. It's like ghetto edge.
It's
not the
ghetto.
Shananay that you're thinking.
Listen, Tupac is ghetto edge. Shananay is not.
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. Yeah. Biggie Smalls even.
I'm like ghetto, you know. I'm
You're
like,
not ghetto.
Girl, I've got like really long nails, and you know, I speak with a big fat Ebonics accent. Like that's
no,
her.
you got a big
That's
ass
her.
and you shop at Walmart. That's
Exactly.
Shananay.
Yeah, Target. Yeah, that's exactly it.
I
So,
love
yeah.
the fact you have this.
Yeah, that's in my head.
We've performed a couple of times with you
Yeah.
singing over house tracks. Is that something you enjoy or not really? Just
I really enjoy it because I tend to just write original material for that. So and I feel like that is a wonderful creative journey. Like I used to just try to do covers. Like I would put somebody else's lyrics onto another song, which I thought, oh, that's so creative. But now it's like every time I get one of those events, I try to just do my own lyrics, and I really like that. Actually, my latest release is called The Signs, a collaboration that I did with Ibiza Cafe Del Mar DJ Ken Fan. So that's actually out on Beatport, called The Signs. So check it out. Yeah.
I think Eka was plugging then.
Yeah, I
think so,
was.
yeah.
I was.
Give us all the links and we'll put
Yeah.
it in the.
Yeah.
So I do enjoy it. In terms, but what I enjoy less of those is that the sound engineer is never perfect. So we would sound check and it would sound great, and then when it happens, the DJs always crank up the music higher, and then boom, everything is off. I've got no reverb, but the volume is high, and then that impact that I wanted to have, I see in my head, rarely gets delivered.
And I'll agree with you. I find it very difficult, and I've only done a couple of gigs with you, and I found it very difficult, not just you, but with other singers, to DJ and as a singer over my DJ stuff. Because I'm so focused on what I do, and all of a sudden I need to focus on someone's voice. I'm like, well, that's a completely different, panel. I don't want to touch that. I don't want to do it. So it's difficult.
It's okay doing it as a recorded track.
Which is,
But doing it live is a different
Yeah.
case.
I found it really tricky.
I mean, I enjoy it a lot. However, if I could have the guarantee that the sound engineering is perfect, I would enjoy it a lot more. I'm really snobbish when it comes to sound, and I think everybody knows that. Because I have not only my tech writer, I bring my engineers everywhere, and I don't do it without them because it just has to be perfect. Otherwise, there's no point, and I think that's probably why that there is a quality assurance when people do hire us, because I am so fussy. Yeah.
I think that's important. I think that's really important. I've got no issues with you bringing your own sound, because I've worked with a lot of sound engineers. Some are really good on the island.
Yes.
There are a couple. But then when you go and work in hotels, and all of a sudden they're not sound engineers. They're just engineers. And you're like, can you see this? I mean, I've been set up and they put the DJ booth so close to the window I can't get in. You're hidden behind trees. So I can't see anything. They don't. And so I feel your pain on that one.
Yeah, I mean, hotel engineers are seriously, they are just, they are.
Well, they're maintenance guys. It's not their fault they don't know about.
But they're there to help you move things around, but they don't know actually how to use the equipment. So I can't do a job without proper engineers. Yeah. Yeah.
And so how you find, obviously with the COVID's come in, so because you did a lot of wedding gigs as well.
I did, yeah, a lot of wedding gigs and a lot of private bookings, corporate stuff. Obviously, all that has been moved to year 2030. So that's of course a big hit, but I think that when it all started in March, I think everybody was getting a bit depressed and down about it. But then you realize afterwards, it's like, hey, you know what? I have food to eat. I've got a roof over my head, and my kids are healthy, so I don't have that much to complain about. So, by the stage that I learned to accept it to that extent, I stopped feeling that, oh shucks, another cancellation. I stopped approaching it that way. And now I've been getting a lot more invitations from restaurants as well as some hotels to do public events too. And I guess their point is that they want to pack the place out. And so far so good.
Just to re-drive business back to them.
Correct.
Did you enjoy doing weddings, or do you prefer doing balls, or all the different? What's your kind of preferred venue or group to sing to? I've worded that question really badly, haven't I?
You have. I'm surprised you got away with saying you like doing balls.
But I understand.
Do you like balls?
I love balls.
just choofy chuff like balls too?
I love glamorous galas. Yes. Look, my favorite events are events where I actually don't have to wear a gown because I can spread spread my legs. Sorry, Mom, not in that way, but you can't dance when your legs are like this in a long gown, and that is so constricting.
Yeah.
Really. So I actually really like those casual events where I can dress normally.
Slutty events.
No, I don't do those. I don't do those.
Alter ego Chafafa like to, she's more
Latoya. Shananay.
Does your Shananay like to move around more on stage then?
Oh, she doesn't stop.
Oh really?
She doesn't stop. I can't. And that's another thing I find very difficult is if I am performing for a very elegant affairs and I'm stuck in my gown and with my 7-inch heels, I can't move, and I find that very difficult for me. As you guys can see, I'm a pretty bubbly person, so it's like
Shananay's stuck in there, can't twerk, getting really
right. Well, I can't twerk anyway. I'm Chinese, right? I can't do that. But my favorite events, listen, without the weddings, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to practice the match practices that my husband calls to the level that that makes me feel like a decent performer these days. And I have to thank the weddings for that, because they gave me a safe place to actually practice that. And so I'm really grateful for that. I enjoy it because I'm a little bit of a romantic person, so I like bringing the mood magic to people. And I wish that at my wedding, the band that we would have hired would have had the same attitude, because not only am I just there singing, I'm really into the mood, and I help them drive, whether it be lighting or song chores or I'm emceeing, but I really care. So although it's not my favorite type of event, but I really do put my heart in it. Yeah.
And I think all of us can probably say that, because maybe not Russell, but
you're right. Your wedding would have been so much better had you been singing, had you been DJing, and had I been emceeing. It would have been
right.
I mean, that's the perfect wedding package.
I'm not sure about the DJ. But no, I agree with you on the weddings.
Yeah.
I learned a lot DJing at weddings, just because I got the ability to practice.
Yeah.
And also I do care. I'm a bit of a romantic as well. A bit. And I do care. And you want everything to be perfect. You want everything to be right. And you give them,
them. And you know how many times I would sing a walk-in song and I literally can't look at the bride because I'm crying. I have to hold back tears. It's really sad and pathetic. But I think that level of care makes me feel like I'm worth every single penny, because I really try to create the perfect day for them. And that's genuine, that's authentic. And then you give me a normal stage, I enjoy it. Look, I see every event like a new match, and everything needs to be suitable, appropriate, and it's always about mood magic for me. So this kind of event, what kind of mood should I drive? And then I basically just gun for it. I plan it really, really thoroughly in my head, what kind of songs, what outfit. And I know what I'm going to do weeks ahead, so that I know exactly how to achieve it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where do you practice?
Before, I used to practice a lot in my own studio, which is in my house. And then now our weekly rehearsals are at Bebop.
Where?
Bebop in Phuket Town, the live music bar.
That's
the greatest place. Another plug-in.
There you go.
I'm doing well on the old plugs. I can't remember any of them.
I haven't been to Phuket Town.
Oh, Bebop is the
best. I went to
best.
a vegan table the other day, but I haven't been to Phuket Town for a night out for ever.
Okay, I'm taking you. I'm taking you on the 25th November.
Can we go to Timberhawk? I used to sing on stage at
It's
Timberhawk.
gone.
I got
Timberhawk's
Gone.
No.
That band is now playing at Bebop on Friday, Saturdays. So you're gonna come with me because we're doing a.
Can't do this Saturday, but we'll go next week.
No, on the
25th.
25th.
Oh, 25th. Done.
It's the anniversary of Bebop. Bebop is owned by Boy Navio, by the way.
From who?
Boy Navio's
okay.
the little Phuket guitar hero. Not little. Sorry, boy. You're not little.
I went to Hog's Head the other day in Phuket town, just down the road from
Yeah.
Hip Hop.
It's great. I
You
love
didn't invite
Phuket
me?
Town. It's great.
No, I
So
didn't invite you.
We practice there. We practice there.
Exeter, I asked you a little question that I sent you was about we're doing a thing on our greatest of all time.
Oh, okay.
So I'm assuming you might have picked a singer, or have you?
Do I have to just pick one?
Well, no, you can just. It's an
Okay.
open forum. You
It's an
tell
open-
us.
It's an
Okay,
open
so
vault.
people that I would like to pay tribute to. I mean, as a singer, as artist, I am extremely in awe about Bjork and Beyonce for different
Bjork?
reasons. Bjork for her sheer creativity.
Oh, I was thinking tennis. I know who brought Bjork.
It's all so quiet.
I know. Shh.
And then for Beyonce, obviously because she's just that talented. I mean, I don't listen to either of their music at this stage. It's not what I'm feeling, but I can't deny that.
But
they're
would you
just
say
so
they're the
talented.
greatest of all time?
For me,
For you, in your opinion?
for me at this stage, I mean,
I
I,
think
don't.
this whole greatest of all time thing is going to flop.
Greatest in all times, as in just the most, for me, the most.
Influential.
Well, just remarkable. I mean, who dances and sings the way she does?
You're right. Greatest of all time does mean remarkable of all time. Yeah, I can
and
see
then
that.
I mean, Bjork, she's unrivaled in terms of her kookiness, but
Didn't she punch that Thai reporter when she arrived here one year?
well, that sounds like her.
Yeah, that's her raised on that. Yep.
Yeah, but look, I'm also really into spirituality. So for me, I'm a big fan of Eckhart Tolle when it comes to spiritual speakers. Big fan.
Who?
And
Sorry.
Eckhart
Eckhart
Tolle,
Tolle.
Right.
the writer of The Power of Now, The New Earth.
We'll talk about it later.
Over me.
And then I'm a big Oprah's my hero. I love Oprah Winfrey. I love her.
She's up
I
there
love her.
as one of the greatest of
her.
all time. I think I would put
Yeah.
her up there on the list.
If we're talking about presenters for a start, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just an amazing lady. Stop coughing.
And sorry, one more singer that I can't seem to keep my jaw up when I hear her do her thing is Aretha Franklin. Obviously, the late Aretha Franklin.
She is pretty stunning.
Oh God, how does she do all that? And so that's who Shananay wants to be, you know.
Shananay wants to be Aretha.
Yeah, like oh my God, Jesus, she blows my head off. So yeah, those are my mentions. Those are my mentions.
I like Shananay. Russell, do you have a question?
So, well, I'm not entirely sure where this is going to go. Because, well, before
Ooh.
I get to it though, when you were back to the ayahuasca for a second, did you go off anywhere?
Yeah, Peru.
No, in your head.
Off?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Like you
I
weren't
didn't.
chasing galaxies and stuff
I
like that.
didn't. Again, it was a very tame high for me. Trip, I shouldn't say high. It was a very tame trip. I really didn't go to the ferries. I think perhaps my biggest lesson is I need to ground. So perhaps that's why she kept me quite grounded, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Okay, that tempers my other question then. Okay.
Yeah.
What sort of things have you got on your bucket list?
So bucket list. I would, of course, it's super cliche, but traveling the world is definitely one of them, especially now. Traveling the world without
Traveling?
COVID.
Sorry, what's that?
Just traveling, just traveling. But when it comes to traveling, the way I like to do it is I like to sample, food of the place, from street foods to Michelin. So if I can cover that in every place that I go, plus see something cultural, whether it be a dance, art, musical theater, whatever it is that they're showing at that stage when I'm there, is what I like to do at every place that I visit.
That's very cool.
Yeah, just before you answer any more, do you miss musical theatre?
Oh, so much. I miss culture, period. Culture. Yeah.
Buy a yogurt. Buy a yogurt.
Or kombucha? Culture in it, isn't it? But musical theatre is something that I really miss. Going and see the theatre, which many people might not know that I'm a bit of a musical theatre person.
Do you been
Do you like
performing?
Les Mis?
Oh, I've never performed, but I
Yeah.
could do because I reckon I've got the voice for you.
I think you do.
Because musical theatre, you get away with not being a great singer.
I disagree. You
Just-
have
Oh, really?
to be so
Entirely.
on point.
You just have to talk and sing.
It's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah, and the training, like you have to be a real
Oh.
technical singer for being.
Okay,
a
well, I
musical.
What's your
can't
favourite
be
musical?
My favourite musical, Starlight Express.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
You got a favourite musical?
Miss Saigon.
Okay. I'm Les Mis all the way.
Oh, you like?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love Les Mis.
I liked Cats, but I wasn't Starlight Express. But I guess it's because it was the first one I actually went to see, and just having the guys roller skate around me was just incredible.
That's very cool.
I remember loving Cats when I first saw it, but I was young at the time.
But it was also the first time I ever had yogurt-covered raisins as well. Because as a kid growing up, it was really. I've never been, hello, Martin. I've never been to London. Sorry.
Yeah, of course it is.
The honorary consular Martin Carpenter's just rocked up in Bake. Bless him. It's the first time I had yogurt raisins, which I thought was amazing for me.
That's just literally stuck in your mind ever since.
Absolutely.
But other things on my bucket list is I'd love to backpack with my children one day when they're old enough, and I'd love to go to Burning Man with them one day as well. Burning Man.
Okay.
Yeah. When Bass turns 15 or 16, I'd love to experience that with them.
Bass, such a cool name.
Thank you.
Love that name.
You just got the one?
I have Bass and my daughter's Keys.
I was going to say, please. Should have called it
Bass
Jump.
and Keys, how typical.
Drummer?
Jump.
Oh, right. Bass jump.
Bass and drum.
Drum and bass. Drum and bass.
Yes.
Eka, if people want to book you, I guess you're still taking bookings?
Absolutely.
Yes,
I am taking bookings, and you can reach me on my Facebook page or...
we'll put all the links at the bottom, so no worries.
Yeah.
Will you let us put your song on the podcast? Is that okay?
I would love that. It hasn't been released yet, so we're waiting for the video to be finished.
I don't need a video.
You can time it together.
Yeah.
You can time that together.
When are you hoping for it to be properly released?
Together with the video, which is hopefully going to be in about 7 days. It depends on how fast the videographer can get it done.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Well, we'll hold off for them. We might, because this will come out on Tuesday. But what we might do is, then if I get the song from you, we'll put it on
that would be great.
Yeah,
and so, just FYI, the song was about. I was inspired about it's a conversation or sentiments to my children.
Cool.
Yeah. So I hope you guys
Shut up. Put it down. Take that out of your mouth. Don't put that in your nose. Yeah, I can see that.
No more sugar. No more sugar.
Would you go to bed?
Have you brushed your latifahs?
On that note, Eka, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you guys. It was a
lovely.
lot of fun. Thank
Russell, thank you.
Always a pleasure, mate.
Cheers. Bye.
Thank you.
Welcome to the outro. That was Eka or Chumbawamba. What was the name?
Tub thumping.
Chalifa. Who was her alter ego?
Chalifa.
I don't know what it was. We're recording
Bananarama.
Eka was very interesting. The ayahuasca hill tribe thing. They're not hill tribes, are they?
Some of them are. I watched a documentary on that. Probably the week before we went and did it. So, I didn't realize just how big it is. It's an industry down in Peru. It's massive.
But you did it in Samui.
I know. But one of the things that Em and I were talking about was I'd love to go to Peru anyway, but I wouldn't want to go and do it there with there was 30 other people sort of around. I'd rather just sort of do it more quietly. But anyway.
Unsociable bastard.
Yeah, there is that.
Paddington Bear, I wonder if he's ever done it.
I'm not entirely sure.
Well, he's from the darkest jungles of Peru.
He is indeed. That would explain a lot.
Eka Soundz. She's got a great story though.
Amazing story.
Really interested in that one. I've known her for however long she's been here for, pretty much, because I met her when she. Yes, thank you. I'm glad you were listening.
I listened to the podcast.
We should say we're back at the Chateau de Canine. We're recording this on the Monday.
Casa del Canine.
Whatever. And we did Eka, so to speak, on the Friday, and then we've had a very busy weekend. Which we will go on to quickly. But Eka, she's lovely. And we'll put her new song that she's releasing. I was just going to
say, yeah.
We won't have it for this Tuesday, but we'll do it for the next podcast.
We could do a special exclusive release on Phuket Podcast.
Absolutely. But if you want her to sing, go and check her out. Just tap her up on Facebook, Eka Soundz. I think it's spelt funny, though, the sounds.
With a Z.
I think so, yeah. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, excellent.
But she's lovely. I like Eka a lot.
And very interesting as well that she had such a high at an early age and crashed and stepped away from it from, what did you say,
I think that
14
happens
years.
a lot, though. I mean, if you think about it, the likes of Take That and Five and all these, and Spice Girls, Steps, there must be 1,000 million other. I mean, I know my cousin was a big singer in Hong Kong in a girl band, but she only lasted for 2-3 years, but she was quite big in Hong Kong. But that's it, nothing.
Yeah.
And now, God bless her, she's now got breast cancer, which is love to you. And go and get your boobs checked, everyone, and your balls checked, and your bum checked, everybody.
Thanks for that little segue.
It's all right. Eka, amazing. Tap her up. She's an amazing singer and I love her to death. And
we'll see her on Friday the 13th.
We are seeing her on Friday the 13th.
Yes, Friday the 13th next week.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something's going on. I can't remember what it was.
Crikey, what day is it today?
Russell had his birthday party.
I had my birthday party at Soul Shack.
I told you not to say that. at the Shack of the Soul. I came out of retirement to DJ for all of an hour and a half
which was brilliant.
Thank you. And then I got kicked off by the main DJ, who was good.
It's all right.
Aye.
It's all right. It wasn't as good as you, Jay.
I was a little bit disappointed when he came up and he said, "Hey, are you the DJ here?" And I was hoping he would have said, "Oh, you're Jay Leshark, you're the legend," but I didn't get any of that.
Yeah.
So I realised that I hate Soul Shack. And I hate the music there from now on, and they didn't know who I was.
We went to Pepper's afterwards.
Pepper's is so much better. Bring back BBs. That's what I say. Yeah. No, joking aside, it was a cool night though.
It was.
Did you have fun?
I had apparently. Judging by how much I suffered on Sunday.
There was a lot of drunken people. Now, I was very clever. I had two... I don't really drink that much anymore anyway. Nor does Russell usually. When we go out, we might have 2 or 3 beers and we'll get home and we'll text each other, "Oh, I feel awful."
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, we're grumpy old granddads now.
I got to midnight and I was so chuffed with myself that I was upright. And it went rapidly downhill from there.
You were pretty good. I left just as whatever you... Katie Hudson... beautiful hair, Katie Hudson, which Steve the Colonel wanted to take home and put on his own head. That's the hair, not the Hudson.
Yeah.
She bought you some sort of tequila, Sambuca.
No, Simon, vicariously through his wife Katie, bought me a whiskey.
So Simon, who wasn't there...
No, he was there. He was at the other end of the bar. He was slowly making his way through, and Katie came through and said, "There you go, there's another drink for you." And then all of a sudden, "Oh, there's another drink for you." And then Simon did it and said, "Oh, I'll tell you what, let's have a whiskey." I was like,
honestly, Russell did very well. This is why I don't have birthday parties. I've realised I've always wanted a big surprise birthday party, but
no, you don't. Trust me, you really don't.
Now I really don't. After seeing you, I left about 12. I came up to you and said, I'm bailing," and you went, "Yeah, good.
Take me with you." Yeah. But on that note, a very big thank you to you for DJing for a couple of hours. That was fab, and to everyone else that came, especially the ones that brought me gifts.
Yeah, and the ones who didn't buy you gifts, you're scumbags. You should have done what I did and go to Villa Market this morning before you're rocking up to Russell's house and get him a Terry's chocolate orange, some pickled onion Monster Munch.
The thing is...
No, hold on. And the big one, though, the Trolls Advent Calendar.
Exactly, but also the things you could have left it in the box and just given it to me and said, "I gave this to you on the night," and I probably wouldn't have known any different. Very
true. But I was honest and just said I just rocked up at Villa Market.
Love you.
Anyway, burger competition this Saturday. Make sure you go. It starts at 4 o'clock at Blue Tree, Phuket.
Is it this weekend?
It's this weekend.
Cool.
I know, that's why I want to get this recording finished so I can get back and sort it all out. There's going to be over 25 burgers to try, vegetarian, vegan, and meat ones. It's going to be awesome.
Interest.
Yes.
Who are the judges?
Who's the judges?
Judges. Inside joke, everyone.
Inside joke. Scott Toon. Sort your drinking out, mate. Love you. Right, on that note, listen to our podcast on Spotify, on Apple iTunes, well, whatever you're listening to it now, I guess.
Yeah.
So
just stick with that.
Could we have a review, though? A little like and a little review and a little subscribe and a little star rating.
And when we say little, 5-star only.
5 would be good, and then you can put whatever you like.
In life, you have to.
Yeah, we don't care.
Yeah.
Some of you like it. It's nice that some people do like our podcast.
It is indeed. And if you are liking it, please tell your friends and get them to join the bandwagon. Or if you don't like it and there's people that you don't like, send it to them.
True. Works both ways.
Works both ways.
You're quite with it on this Monday morning. You weren't with it yesterday.
I was. No.
Let's
not go there.
Lots of places to go and check out the podcast on Facebook and on Instagram and on Twitter, but you can always go to the website, which is
PhuketPodcast.com.
And if you've got a dog and you want it trained, then go to Caninepointacademy.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Russell. Have a lovely day.
I will do, mate. You too.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Time. No beginning. No end. An infinite procession that humbles our mortality. But there are moments in life that transcend our fate. Burgers, crafted by gods among men. These are the burgers that echo through the ages. Like the mythical gods of ancient Greece, they may thrill us, inspire us, at times make us angry, but they will never let us forget them. Saturday the 14th of November is their night, their battle, their moment of ultimate sacrifice. Welcome to Phuket's Best Burger. greatness, redemption, glory.